There's a lot of crazy things out in the world today. I mean, you got your drag queens, you got your people who are pushing pedophilia, you got your people who push bestiality, you got people who push vaccines. I mean, you've got so many different forms of crazy.
And who knows crazy better than Nathen Roberts, an anti-masker, anti-vaxxer, anti-5G, young Earth creationist, moon landing denying flat earther. And it seems this Bible-reading, Jesus-loving, peaceful and loving man of God is anti-gun control too.
The craziest thing that I've recently heard now, and this is when speaking with a Army veteran who told me to my face that they do not care about the Second Amendment. Who says that? Especially an Army veteran? Mind-boggling, truly mind-boggling. And anyways, he says something about there's some shootings that have been reported. It's about some shootings in Kroger's or something. Something about if you go to Kroger, it's going to be the greatest possibility of getting shot or something like that. And so I was like, well, there's probably a reason for people to probably carry more guns, you know, to kind of thwart these types of attacks that are happening on people, right? And he says, no, if anything, we should have people with less guns. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, are you really advocating gun control? And so I went ahead and I asked him, well, you don't think that the government should be regulating what type of guns or how many guns we should be having, right? You don't believe that, do you? And he said, oh, absolutely, we should definitely not have people with like ammunition of like automatics and semi-automatics that can hold like 30 plus rounds. And I'm thinking, this is a whole new level of crazy for me. I couldn't even argue with him, mainly because I was so confused by what he was saying.
In 1996, Australia had its worst random mass shooting, with 35 killed. There had been 8 more in the previous decade. With popular support, the government brought in strict gun control. This included tighter licensing laws, a ban on automatic and semi-automatic long guns, and much harsher penalties. The government bought back and destroyed so many weapons it was like totally disarming most African nations. Yet, Australia still maintains a high level of gun ownership. It's just the right sort of guns for the right purpose. And what was the result? Almost overnight, gun-related murders halved. Gun-related accidents more than halved. Gun-related suicides more than halved. To this day, almost a quarter of a century later, the number of mass shootings, 0.
I was like, certainly I'm in the twilight zone right now. I have to be. There's no way that I just heard a conservative Army vet who advocates the government putting stipulations on what type of ammunition or weapons we are able to have. This, to me, is almost crazier, or just as crazy, as people believing they're living on a spinning ball.